Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So our class today will be on capitalist democracy. Two big words, capitalism and democracy. First, we look at the meaning of capitalism. What do we mean by capitalism? We have several economic systems. Basically, we have capitalism, socialism, feudalism, and so on and so forth. Many of them are available to us. But today we are more interested in capitalism than that it relates with democracy. Then we look at other things under it. So, capitalism is basically a system of economy. The same way we have systems of government, we have systems of economy. So this is a system of economy in which the means of production and distribution of all goods and services are based in the hands of individuals, mostly private individuals. That is, instead of the government to manage the means of production and distribution or sustenance of the economy, it is managed by private individuals, private companies, private owners of properties. The opposite of this is socialism. In socialism, every means of production and distribution is owned and controlled by the government. Then there is another one called mixed economy, which is what Nigeria practices. In a mixed economy, it means both private individuals and the government both enjoy the production and distribution of goods and services. A good example of a country that practices mixed economy is Nigeria. It gives the means of economy to both the government and the people. Then on the other hand, we have democracy. Democracy is gotten from a Greek word, demokratia. Demo, people. Kratia meaning a system, that is people's system. So democracy, as defined by a former president of America, Abraham Lincoln, is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. What this means is that democracy basically looks at satisfying the people, looks basically at how people can take over government, at how people are supposed to establish their own and then administer their own government. So democracy basically tells you that a government is owned by a particular people. It is supposed to be established by the people themselves, that is of the people. Then for the people, that is everything that will be done by the government is supposed to be aimed at satisfying the people. So in that line, we now look at the meaning of the concept we are treating, capitalist democracy. I'll soon be done with this, so just listen. Since we said capitalism is an economy managed by the people, by private individuals, democracy is a government of the people. And then democracy comes in two ways. We either have it directly or indirectly. When it comes directly, it means that people go into government themselves. That is, we are not voting any Fashola, we are not voting any Tinubu, we are not voting any Buhari, we are not voting any honorable or senator to go and represent us in government. We ourselves are the government. We want to go and do everything in government ourselves. While on the other hand, indirect democracy, it simply says that we are electing Mr. So to represent us in government. So this can also be called representative democracy, and it is widely practiced almost in every country that practices democracy. So we have representatives who represent us in government. So capitalist democracy means that a representative government which uses a capitalist economy, a government that is managed by the people, and which the means of economy, the means of sustenance of the people is based on private individuals. Hope we are clear. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now, so from where we stop, let's look at the characteristics of capitalist democracy. When we say characteristics, what are the features What are those things we see in an economy where they establish in capitalist democracy? Number one is what? Supremacy of the constitution. Supremacy means that the constitution has power over everybody, over everything that exists in the state, over Mr. President, over Mr. Governor, over the Senate Speaker, over anybody in the state. That whatever the constitution says is what everybody is to follow. Then periodic election. There must be periodic election. For example, in Nigeria, our elections are within how many years? Every 4 years there is an election. That is to make sure that it is not only Mohammed's family that is ruling. It is not only Abdiakin's family that is ruling. It is not only the Raji family that is ruling. Are you getting? We have several people who are changing. It is not an hereditary kind of government where Buhari leaves power and then his son comes to take over. No, another person can come and contest, and if he wins the election, to the Buhari family. Then respect for fundamental human rights. In every capitalist democratic state, there must be human rights. Freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, right to education, right to life, and so on and so forth. And everything must be respected by every single person, single citizen of that country. Then operation of the rule of law. The rule of law by Professor Evidaisi says that whatever the law says has power over everybody in the state, irrespective of your position or condition. Are you getting? That irrespective of whatever position you are holding in a particular state, whatever the law says is final. If Mr. Kudus commits a crime that warrants him to go to, I will not go, that warrants him to go to prison for 2 years. If another person commits that offense, irrespective of who he is, he has to go. I will not commit that offense. Then, existence of multi-party system. There must be the existence of several political parties. So there will be contests for elections. We must have the APCs, PDP, AMPP, YDP, all the P's that you know. Then free press. The press must also be free. Who are the press? Your newscasters, your journalists. They must be free. They must be able to establish their own views. Punch must be able to carry any news. And Vanguard must be able to carry any news without questioning. Are you getting? Then separation of power. There should be separation of power among levels of government. For example, in the Nigerian system, there is the federal, there is the state, and there is the local government. Also, to arms, we have the executive, legislature, as well as the judiciary. All these people, it is to establish a kind of separation of power so that the head of the executive, President Muhammadu Buhari, does not feel too powerful. He can be controlled by the legislature. The judiciary cannot just establish any government. They can be any punishment. They can be controlled. Are you getting? So that is why we have a system. Then there should be federal, state, and regional governments to manage the affairs of people. Then last, second to the last, we have tolerance of opposition. There must be opposition party. You see, everything APC is doing, PDP will be tackling it in the Nigerian system. That is it. APC must tolerate it and accept it like that. If PDP is in power too, APC will do the same thing. Are you getting? It is called toleration of opposition. You must tolerate the opposing party. You must not say because you are the president and you are from APC, because PDP now says something about it that they should not exist again. No, you don't have power over political parties. It is by INEC. Are you getting? And even INEC has their rules and regulations to determine who remains or does not remain in a political party. Then there must be economic freedom. People must be able to carry out their businesses thoroughly. So far it is legal. You must be able to carry out their things thoroughly. So, Assalamu alaikum. I'll be expecting your questions and suggestions under this post. Thank you.